Unbreak my heart, say you love me again. Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life. Uncry these tears, I cried so many now. Unbreak my heart. What's up, Cherishing Club fam? Welcome back to my channel. We're all about love, positivity, self-development, being a girl boss, entrepreneurship, and everything in that vicinity. In today's video, we are doing another Sunday story time. Most of my stories, like most of my friends, like people who I'm cool with, already know they were there for it or they've heard me talk about it before or whatever. But this story is going to be one that I think I've talked about the least. I know I told my boyfriend about it and I feel like I told my best friend about it, but other than that, I'm not really sure that I talked about it too much. I think some people may know certain things that happened in this story, but they don't just know like the whole story. Basically, I'm going to be talking about my first major heartbreak. I'm not going to leave any details out, and I don't think anybody's going to guess who this person is, because when I was dating this person, we didn't have any mutual friends. None of my friends knew who he was. He never went to my churches. We never went to the same school, none of that. And he was a little bit older than me. If you're new to the channel, then go ahead and subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you do not miss any future Cherishing Club videos. We do Sunday story times every single week, so if you love Sunday story times, then you're gonna want to subscribe so that you don't miss any of those. And we do girl boss, entrepreneurship, and things like that on Wednesdays and on Fridays. So please subscribe, join the Cherishing Flow fam. You will not regret it. And if you're not new to this channel, then thank you so much for being here. Thank you for loving me as much as I love you. Go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up so that I know that you guys are loving the videos. Yeah, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so how do I even start this story? Like, oh my God, like just thinking about this story, it's just like, there's going to be some details about me that you guys don't know that's going to have to come out in order for me to tell this story so that you can really understand the level of hurt that this dude made me feel. Okay, so I'm going to start with how we dated. Basically, we just met. We like, I don't even really remember exactly how we met. I know we met and we just kind of hit it off as friends. And I met him in elementary school. He was a little bit older than me, like I said, so I think he was in middle school when I was in elementary school when I met him. I think I was like in 4th grade and he was in middle school already. So we met, we were friends, whatever, and we started flirting and he told me that he liked me. I was really young, you guys, like keep this in mind, but this started in elementary school, but it did not end, and the heartbreak and everything did not happen until high school. So we met and he told me that he liked me when I was in 5th grade. So he was like, yeah, I really like you. You're really cute. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Y'all, that little cutesy stuff. We never like started dating or anything until I got into like the 7th grade. And I got into 7th grade, we started dating. You know, like young people relationship only. For me and him, it was a little grown for our young taste. But he was older than me. So when I was in 7th grade, he was in high school. And he was like, you know, he kind of would try to get me to do more stuff because I was young, I was innocent. I was like, I don't want to do this, and I wasn't ready for the stuff that we were doing. Like, we didn't just all out have sex or nothing like that, but I wasn't ready for the stuff that we were doing. And I would be like nervous and uncomfortable, but you know, I really liked him and I really wanted him to like me, and I knew he was older, so I did whatever because he wanted me to. And you know, since he didn't want to lose him or whatever. He was really nice to me though. He treated me really nicely from the time we met up until I think I got into high school. And that's when things started to take a turn. Me and him would be on and off. And me and him were on and off because we never really got to see each other. We didn't live close to each other. We didn't get to, and a lot of times his phone wasn't working or something like that. So we didn't really get to see each other that often. We had to like jump through hoops to see each other. So especially since we didn't have, like, our families were not mutual friends or anything like that, and I didn't want to tell my mom that I was dating an older guy, so it was like hard for us to actually get around each other. I was on and off with him because of that, and I was also on and off with the white guy that I dated that I did a story time about before. It was a time when I was like trying to figure out like which one of those two I really was into, but that's a story for another time. If you want me to do that story, then let me know. I'll do a story time about when I was into 2 guys at once and I had to choose. Basically, he was like my first legit, like, I don't think I was in love. I think I was young and I was really infatuated. I had never been into a boy before, and he was the first boy I was ever like really into. And so it was just, I couldn't let him go. It all started when I lost my virginity. Disclaimer, I lost my virginity to this guy. This is the guy I lost my virginity to. I was not ready to have sex yet. I was 14 and I was a freshman in high school. And it was after this when things started to change. He was talking about how, you know, sex is how you express your love to somebody. He was like, if you love me, then you'll have sex, and da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay. And we had sex. I don't know if you guys want me to do a story time about my first time, I can do that. Let me know that in the comment section down below. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. But we did that, and then afterwards, we started having sex a lot. It was not enjoyable for me. And that's when his behavior towards me started to change. He used to kind of put me down a little bit, tell me that I wasn't pretty, or tell me that, you know, I look not good that day. Or he'd be like, why are you doing that? And then he would try to say stuff like, why don't you wear makeup? Because at the time, I didn't wear makeup at all. He was like, why don't you wear makeup? Why don't you do something? He's like, why don't you do something else with your hair? Why don't you try to be cute, dress more sexy, whatever. Because I didn't dress, you know, all provocative and whatever. I was like 14. Like, who out here dressing like a thot at 14? Who is Tatiana that young? But, you know, nowadays. I was like, okay, I don't want to dress like that. I like how I look, you know. I was fine with who I was. When I was 14, I was fine with who I was. I was not the cutest little thing, but I was cute still. But I was fine with who I was. I never had like a confidence issue. So he started saying bad stuff to me, and I started to feel bad about myself. It impacted how I was with my friendships. It impacted how I saw myself, how I acted. And I already had a lot of issues at that time in my life concerning some other things. So around this time is also around the time that it came out, and I told him that I was sexually abused by someone in my family. And I'm not gonna get into that. That story will probably not be something I ever talk about on this channel, but that's something that's happened to me. And I was telling him about that, and he's just like, why didn't you tell anybody, yada yada yada. And he didn't understand. He was confused as to why I didn't say anything, because it had been like something going on since childhood and all that stuff. And when he told me, like when I told him about it, I was telling him like in confidence, because I was going through a lot involving that situation, because it was coming out and everybody, like, you know, my mom, people found out. And it was becoming this big thing, and I was trying to vent to him because he was somebody I cared about and I thought I could trust. And when he said that to me, it was kind of like, I felt like he was telling me like it was my fault, and I felt bad. I'm going to say something else about that later, which is why I'm mentioning that now, that one little tidbit now. I mentioned that because I'm going to say something else about it later. He told me that I should start taking birth control pills. That's what happened. And I didn't have no access to no birth control pills. My mother did not know I was having sex. I was like, no. I said, how am I gonna do that? So then he provided me birth control pills. Oh my gosh. He gave me birth control pills. I don't even know where he got them from. Like to this day, I don't know where he got the birth control pills from. I don't know where it came from, but he gave them to me. I was young and dumb. And so he gave me some pills, said it was birth control, said to take them every day. So that's what I started doing. And eventually my mom did find out about those birth control pills, and it caused lots of issues after that. But because I got in so much trouble, I had birth control pills. My dad found out. He taken me to go give me the talk. I was like 15 years old. But he went to go give me the talk. He was talking to me in a Burger King about, you know, having sex and using condoms. And I'm sitting there like, I'm just like, I did not sign up for this. And he gave me birth control pills. And then after the birth control pills, my body started acting funky. My period didn't start, and I had a positive pregnancy test. It was my friend's test that she had left over in my house, and I took it. It was positive, and I told him, I was like, I am pregnant. I have this positive pregnancy test here. And I sent him the picture of the test, and he said to me, I remember like at that time how hurt I was. And even though like I'm over it now, and he just like where he is now, I'm not even mad. Like I'm just like, ha karma, my nigga. But like, it's like looking back, I'm just like, I was heartbroken. He said, I'm not gonna take care of that baby. You have to tell people that somebody else is the father. And I was like, what do you mean I have to tell people that somebody else's father? He's like, my mom would kill me if I was having a baby. He's like, you know, I'll send you money sometimes. He's like, but you can't tell anybody the father. You have to tell them that you don't know who the dad is. Or you have to like make it up. He was like, do you sleep with anybody else? I had never had sex with anybody else but him at this time. Nobody else. I was 15 when this happened. I hadn't had sex with nobody else. I'm sitting in the house like, I remember I was sitting down, I was watching TV, I'm looking at my phone in utter disbelief. And I was heartbroken. Like, I was just like, why would you say that? Like, why would you tell me that I can't tell people that you're the father? He was like, I won't claim it. He was like, if you say that I'm father, I'm gonna call you a liar. I'm gonna pretend like I don't know who you are. Our families don't know each other, so it's gonna be like I came out the blue. Like, he said all these things, and I'm literally sitting there thinking, like, this is the guy who I thought really had my back more than anybody else, and I'm just looking at my phone in complete and utter disbelief. Like, did you really just say that? After that, some other things happened. I didn't end up having a baby or anything. I'm not gonna get into that story. So, skip past that. We broke up after that. We ended up getting back together when I no longer had a child on the way. It's like, I love you. He said I would have helped you, but, you know, gave me this whole sob story about his mom and how, you know, she would have put him out and he would have been homeless, all this foolishness. And I was like, okay, I understand. This is right before I moved up north. I moved up north for a year. I'm like hanging out with him, and then he leaves his phone, and I pick up his phone because it drops. Like, he didn't leave it. He dropped it out of his pocket. And I pick it up, and I'm like, yo, I was about to tell him you dropped his phone, but then I looked at his phone, and there was a message right there from somebody named, let's call her, I didn't even give him a name. We'll call him Jay. But let's call her Kiana. I look at the phone, and I'm just like, and it's from Kiana. She's like, I miss you too, babe. And I'm like, this is when we had flip phones. So I'm looking at the, I was looking at the flip phone like, I threw the phone and I just walked away. And then he told me, he said, no, that's my friend. He was texting his homegirl on my way home from school on the bus. And, you know, it's not even like that. I'm not cool with her like that, yada, yada, yada. I did not believe him for nothing, bro. Like, I was like, you are lying. I was like, that is the worst lie ever. I was like, you know that's who you're talking to. And I look at the timestamp on the message. I was like, no, that message happened since you've been home. As a matter of fact, that message happened since I've been here, my guy. Like, you sent her a text message that said, I miss you while you're sitting next to me. Like, you're disgusting. I'm crying, and he was just acting like he did not care. He was just like, you're overreacting, you're tripping. I said what I had to say. I said that I didn't do it, and that's period. Like, you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. And I'm sitting there just in disbelief. Like, who are you? Like, I've known you pretty much my whole life. Like, how did you become this person? So then we broke up after that, but then we ended up getting back together because, you know, he was adamant that he didn't do it and that I overreacted. And eventually I started to be like, well, maybe I did overreact. Maybe he didn't do it. Maybe I'm tripping and it was what he said. He started being really, really mean to me, like calling me names, disrespecting me. He called me the B word a bunch of times. He would tell me, he was like, I can do so much better than you. I can do so much. He's like, I can do this, that, and the other. And then I found out about him and his girlfriend because I met one of his friends for the first time. His friend didn't know that I was his girlfriend. So when his friend and me were talking, his friend was just like, yeah, his girlfriend, da 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 da. I was like, his girlfriend. I said like a dog. But anyway, I said his girlfriend, and he showed me a picture of some white girl. And her name was Kiana. And I was like, so this is your girlfriend. First of all, let me just say, Kiana was not cute at all. When I say she wasn't cute, I mean she was not cute at all. She was downright ugly. She was this ugly white girl who did not look like she never washed her hair. You know, white people, when they don't wash their hair, it gets kind of like stringy and like oily and stuff, and that's what her hair looked like. And these are pictures that she was posting on Facebook, so that must have been the pristine when she cute type stuff. And I did eventually meet her in person, and she really wasn't cute. And she was built like a roly-poly-oly. Like, I don't even know what to call her. Like, she was just not cute. And so I'm sitting there thinking, like, you cheated on me with this, first of all. But second of all, you cheated on me. Like, I have proof now. Like, your friend, you just got outed. And so he's like, he started crying. He's like, I love you so much. He started drinking and smoking around this time too, which he never did before. He always said, no, I'm against that, da 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 da. But he started drinking, he started smoking. He just started, like, as we grew up, he started going left. I was heartbroken, all this other stuff. He was just like, well, I never really loved you anyway, and I never thought anything of you. He started telling his friend that I was crazy, that, you know, she's just obsessed with me, but, you know, I never really cared about her. She's just a kid in my eyes. And I'm sitting there just shook. Because I'm like, I let this dude take my virginity. Horrible experience. Both him taking my virginity and me continuing to have sex. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I didn't even think I liked sex because of him and what I went through with him. Because he made me think that sex was not a thing that I enjoyed at all. I thought it was just something that women did because guys liked it. Because I didn't like it at all. And after all of that happened, I did end up going over his house more. He didn't live there anymore. I was friends with his sister. And his sister was around my age. She was like a year or two younger than me, but she was around my age and we were cool. So I used to hang out with her. And so I went over there, and him and that girl got married. Turns out the girl was pregnant. And this is where the karma kind of sets in. At the time, I was really hurt by that. I was like, wow, like you can claim this baby, you can, from this ugly chick who doesn't even have a good personality. Because when I met her, she knew exactly who I was. So she had all this attitude and was talking smart and talking slick and all this other stuff. And I was kind of like, I was so focused on how hurt I was about him that I wasn't even really thinking about her. I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, even after that situation, he would be like, oh, you know, I'm still in love with you. He would text me, oh, I'm still in love with you. Oh, I still want you. And I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, but you with her, but you with her, but you with her. Y'all about to have a baby. Oh, y'all married now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they were young too. Like, he was 18, but she had to get permission from her parents in order to get married to him. Like, you know, because when you're 17, underage people have to sign papers or whatever. So I was like, wow, like that's crazy. After that, I moved up north. And me and him tried to formulate a friendship. Like, we tried to be friends. We tried to make amends. Like, before I left, we were like, okay, let's just bury the hatchet. You know, we've known each other since elementary school. Let's just try to get over it. We can be friends. So now I go up north, and he's telling me, you know, he's like, it's hard for me to be friends with you because I'm in love with you. He knew I was with the white guy. And I was like, at that point, I was done with him, and I was completely committed to just the white guy. So I was like, you know, I went through so much with you. Like, we were just talking, and he was like, he said, you know, it's hard to be friends with you because I'm still in love with you. You with this dude. I said, okay, but you with that girl. Like, and y'all are married. Like, and I'm not phased. You live your life. You do you. You be great. And then he just goes off on me. Like, he sends me this long message, and this was when I was done with him. Like, done. Okay? He sent me this long message going off of me, calling me names, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the message, he was like, you know what, Ricky? You deserve to have been raped. I can see why that happened because you deserve it. When he said that, I looked at my phone. I put it down. I walked away. I never texted him again. He sent me messages after that. I never replied to another message. I deleted his number. I was so done. I was in shock. I have never heard of anybody saying that to anybody. I never knew that was something that anybody would actually say. I was just like, when I read it, I was so shocked, and I've never been more hurt. I was broken about that for a long time, because even aside from me and him being in a relationship, we were friends. He was one of my closest friends. So I was just like, for you to say that to me, and I did nothing to deserve it. It would have been different if I had done him dirty ever at all. I think the closest thing I did, the closest I ever got to hurting him or doing him dirty, was when I was confused between him and the white guy that I had been dating at around that time. I wasn't with either one of them at the time, and they were both trying to get back with me at the same time, and I was confused, and I was torn, and all of that. That was the closest I ever got to actually hurting him. But he did me dirty so many times. He cheated on me. I found out later he cheated on me multiple times. Pretty much since me and him started, he cheated the whole time, all through high school up until we broke up for good. He was cheating with that girl who I think he's still with to this day. So that was pretty much my biggest heartbreak. I was hurt about that for a long time, even though I don't think I was ever in love with him. I don't think that the heartbreak really came from the relationship, although I did give a lot of myself to him in the relationship. I think the really biggest hurt was from the stuff that he said to me, and he was somebody who I trusted. Because I've known him for so long. He was somebody who I trusted. He was somebody who I considered to be one of my best friends. And he really just demolished my self-esteem. He destroyed my confidence, how I viewed myself. He made me feel like I was not worthy. He destroyed how I viewed sex. All of these things. He really, he fucked me up, bro. He really did. And so that was hard. That was a really hard situation. That was really hurtful. And I'm not even really sure. It took me a long time to get over. I wouldn't say it took me a long time to get over him, because it really didn't take me a long time to get over him, romantically at all. But it took me a long time to get over the pain that I felt because of him. The stuff that happened and the way that I viewed myself because of the stuff that happened. I was viewed as a hoe. I mean, I lost my virginity at 14. I'm sitting here feeling down on myself, feeling like my body is just a tool to be used for men. Oh my God. If I were to really get deep and into the level of the things that he made me think about myself, bro. Then after that, fast forward years later, I see him again. I have no feelings. I'm just whatever. And karma, I feel like really kicked in, because he did me really dirty, and he was really, really disrespectful, mean to me. But he was with that girl. That girl has cheated on him multiple times, and that's common knowledge. I only know that because he said it. She said it when he saw me again. He told me how beautiful I looked. He was like, wow, you look so good. You know, I can't believe I let you go. I was like, yeah, but you did. So tough titty. And then like, he has kids. I think he has 3. He might even have 4, but he has a lot of kids. Can't afford them. He broke. He lives somewhere in my hometown. I don't know where, but I think he lives on the south side. And he is struggling for money, or that's what the last time that I heard. He might have done better since then, but I feel like that right there, that was his comeuppance. That was karma. That's what he got because of how he did other people. I don't know how he did other girls and stuff, but I know how he did me. And I was like, that's what you get. The girl you cheated on me with cheated on you. The girl that you cheated on me with, now you stuck with her. And she was bad body when he was cheating on me with her, but she got worse. Like, it was disgusting. Like, she got married and just let herself go. She wasn't really there to begin with, but she let herself go. Like, she was, oh my God. And I was like, yep, that is what you get. Like, she was so unattractive. I was like, and it would have been better, like, if she was like a sweet person or a good person, but she was trash on the inside too. Like, I was like, she was ugly inside and out. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just the way that it was. I was like, and now you're in this situation, and he would ask me to help him, and I was like, nah, bro, you got it. This is the life that you wanted. This is what you chose, and all that other stuff. So that's the story of how I got my heart broken, how my heart got shattered, and I got, like, you know, I was crying. I went through a whole lot because of that, and it took me years of learning myself and trying to learn to love myself again before I was able to get past that, before I was able to get over that. So if you guys want to hear any of those other story times and the little mini stuff that I was talking about before, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll cook those up for you guys. If you have subscribed already, then go ahead and subscribe. Turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future Sunday story times. If you are not new to the channel, you already subscribed, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making it all the way to the end from that whole drama-filled story. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. And yeah, go ahead and follow me on social media if you're not. Cherish and Flow everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, whatever, what have you. Cherish and Flow. Go find me, follow me, message me, let's powwow, all that good stuff. If you guys have any other videos that you guys want me to do or anything like that, leave that in the comment section down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.